People that know some of the old ways? No?
It's pretty well gone.
It's
been pretty well wiped. I mean, the early, 1400s, 1500s, the Catholic Church pretty well wiped it all out.
Well, yeah, they pretty much tried to do that with us. We could use some of our ideas, you know. Let's go inside and look at the holes and get a better idea. Depends on what tribe you're from, what nation you're from.
Okay.
I run my sweats Lakota style Sioux style because I did a lot of sweats out there. Actually, I had the first lodge I ever had I put up here back in '79. I'm a recovering alcoholic and I was still using it. I only used it a few times, but '79 was the first time I put a lodge up. Then I was out west. I went to college out at the University of Utah and I got to meet a lot of different types of native people out there. And my nephew, I have a nephew that was living in Nevada at the time, and he got involved in sweats. So I used to go out there and sweat with these guys. And the medicine man out there was a Lakota guy, and I learned a lot of things from him. And then I came back east in '85 and put up a lodge. He and my nephew and I put it. We both came back east and we put a lodge up and started sweating. And we kind of went our separate ways because I got straight and went to rehab, went to treatment. And started working in the program. Eventually I became the director. I've been director for 13 years, I guess. But this lodge here has been here for probably 17 years. Not the same lodge because I tear it down every 2-3 years you got to tear it down because the poles start to rot, especially, you know, they'll break off in the ground. Actually, these I tarred the ends of them just for the hell of it. Tried it.
So it's right in the ground, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably about this far.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Now the Lakota people, the sweat lodge is one of the 7 rites of the Lakota people, the Sioux people. Okay, it's one of their 7 sacred ceremonies. But those guys were nomads, and so they'd whip up a lodge in no time. Put up a lodge, do a couple sweat, tear it down, they're gone. These are more permanent lodges. That's why we put the poles into the ground. Plus, it makes it sturdier. In the wintertime, they get covered with snow, and you gotta come out and clean them off. Especially if they've been up a couple, 3 years, the poles get weak. I came out one spring and my lodge was flat. It just caved in. Then I got a good snow blower, and I've been keeping it all cleared out. So anyway, I have a mixture of poles in here this time. I've got red willow. Red willow is traditionally what we use because red willow is a medicine tree. We use the bark for medicine, and they're real pliable. So you go out and you need to cut about. I usually use around 22, 23 poles total. You can also use cedar poles, and actually I think I'm going to start using cedar poles because they're they're straight. I got a lot of cedar here too. They're straight and they're pliable also. And actually this medicine guy here on the res, the old guy, told me that these cedar poles will last longer too. So I think I'm going to start using them. But really, willow, cedar. So you go out and you cut your poles, you trim all the branches off. You cut them. They're about this size for you. These are your main poles, okay? The ones standing up straight, and you need about 12 of those. You cut your poles. You kind of mark your circle off where you're going to put your lodge, right? And you cut 12 poles, and depending on how big you want your lodge, like this lodge here, from the rim of the pit to the wall is about 3 feet. You can dig first or after. It's up to you. And the pit here should be about 2 feet wide, 2 feet, 1.5 to 2 feet deep. The lower the deeper the pit. I've been in some sweats where the pit was real shallow. The rocks are right up it's pretty. It gets really hot if you're sitting next to it. If the pit's a little deeper, your heat kind of stays down lower. Okay, but 2 feet wide and 1.5 feet deep. So after you dig your pit, you can walk off 3 feet. 3 feet. So you make your circumference that big, or if you want it wider, make it wider. Okay, then once you kind of know your radius and your diameter, you take those 12 poles and you embed them in the ground. 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. So then you bend those poles over. Okay, one guy gets on one pole, like right there where Kent is, and I'm sitting here. He take that pole, bend it over, and I take this one, bend it over, and you bend it over till they meet. Pull them down, kind of bend them so they form a dome shape, and then you tie them off. I usually go about to right here at the middle of my chest high. It's about the height of your lodge should be about 4 feet, 4.5 feet. Because the lower it is, the better it's going to hold the heat. The bigger the lodge, the harder it is to heat it. The smaller the lodge, the easier it is to heat. I've been in a couple small lodges, and I mean, you just the guy running the sweat needs to. You're going to learn by experience how to regulate the heat. And believe me, sometimes, and that's when we say it's when the Native Americans sweat, we call it the good spirits into the lodge, and also the Creator has a lot to do with it. I mean, I've run sweats where I've used half a bucket, and it was hotter than hell. I've been in other sweats where I've used 4 buckets, and I couldn't get it hot enough. That's just the way it is sometimes. It's weird, man. So as you run it, you're gonna learn. You're gonna some of them. Sometimes you just pour some water out there, it just knocks you down. Everybody's just laying down, but so you learn to regulate it. So if it's a small lodge, you got to play with the amounts of water to learn how much you need. Depends on the temperature outside. Summertime, you don't need as much water because it's hot outside.